boy, and is it good to connect with you? What an interesting time that we are in. We are in this whole new zodiac calendar, this whole new zodiac cycle in many parts of the world. Where I am, and I'm in Buffalo, New York, and spring is definitely starting to spring, which is always about new life. It's a new season. And, in the area that I'm in, we celebrate, there's a lot of, well, Catholicism, and it's a very heavy Catholic area in which I live in. So we are in the time of Lent. And Lent is all about really, reviewing and sacrificing so that we can come into new light with renewed faith and seeing how signs are all around us on how whatever your higher power is, God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Simon, I don't know, whatever name you pick for your higher power, it's all about connecting with that and really recognizing how we co-create the life in which we wish to live together through our belief system. People talk about words like hope and faith. They go hand in hand. And I always think of like, if faith and hope had a child, it would be love. And then the offspring would be like trust or the, extended family. And it's like you can really, depict all those things because they really are all encompassing. So right now we are in this waning moon phase as we are also in the sun season of Aries. And I know, we might sound medium psychics. We might sound like a broken record, like anywhere you tap into, we're all kind of talking about the same thing astrologically and like with astrology, seeing how everything is lining up. And I believe that we do that a lot of times because me personally, it does give me a lot of solace to say, why am I feeling this way? And then I kind of take a look at where the planets are and then where my signs coincide with that and what the energy is. And then I can say, okay, that's why I'm getting those feelings. So right now we're really being urged, the waning moon, which is anytime after the full moon up until that new moon, it's the waning moon. And that means it really is the push of the surrender, the release to get out of your own way, to realize what it is that you really need to purge so that you can fully move forward without attachment. And more so with this, it's without expectations. It's without trying to control the outcomes. So we think of any time from the new moon till the full moon as that waxing, which is the time to do the work. And it really is about recognizing that you are in control of your own happiness or unhappiness. It's your deciding factor. I can't sit around all day and say, God, I wish I was a size 4. And then turn around and eat, Ho-Hos and Pringles and sit on the couch for 8 hours a day. It doesn't work like that. And I really can't complain about that outcome because I haven't done anything to change that outcome. See where I'm going with that? What you give out is what you get back. Or if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. Now, to me, coming up to this new moon, which is happening Friday on April 1st. And I started to say, wow, okay, new moon, and it is the new moon in Aries. So we've got the sun in Aries, we've got the moon in Aries. So sun represents our reality, our personality. It's the first sign in the zodiac wheel. So it is about kicking off a new cycle. And we've got that fire energy with Aries. And it makes us want to be playful and creative. We get this like spring energy to come back to life. So we also have the moon in the sign of Aries, which is about planting our seeds of intention, about really taking in the thoughts that we've had for the life in which we wish to live. But we can no longer just sit back and think about them. We can no longer just wish. We have to do the work. But for the new moon, we rely on faith because we can't see it. So we have to trust in faith and hope, and through love, we are going to manifest our wishes. Now, then I thought about, this is happening on April 1st. So I'm always like, ooh, the new moon is happening on the 1st of a new month. How cool. Of course, I had to mix in my numerology, 4 for the month of April, 1 the first day of that month, and I get the number 5. 5 in numerology is all about change. It's all about transformation. And a lot of times when we've already gone through the change or the transformation, that 5 comes back around to say now it's about transcendence, the rising above, and taking a bird's eye view, which says, so what's next? Which a lot of people that I've been connecting with lately, that's the big question. What's next? Well, it's time to say, what do you want to do next? And then it dawned on me that April 1st has been deemed April Fool's Day. Then I got into my tarot deck, which I don't really do too often. However, my favorite card is the Fool. So it is the first card. Let me see if I can do this without so much glare. Let's see. Well, just Google anything with, there we go. Google anything with the Fool from the tarot deck. And I'll post it in the comments as much as I can, or, click onto my page, K Wahl Healing Arts, and you can check out more about the Fool as I dive into this for the next couple of days. So the Fool is the 0 card. 0, it kind of like you think nothing, but is it nothing or is it the sum of everything? It has a non-denomination, just like a higher power. Now, the Fool, it's looked upon as foolish. However, if you really look at it, how foolish is it that it is the first card in this revered deck, this deck that's been around, since the dawn of time, basically, and how the Fool is so revered as even the king and the high priestess and everyone looks to the Fool. Just like in times of the Renaissance and everything, the Fool acts as the jester, and he says, oh, make us laugh, and then he brings in other acts, and then everybody looks to him as, is this funny? Should we laugh? Should we be offended? The Fool sets the tone. And why does everyone look up to the Fool? Because the Fool doesn't care. He can. And it's funny because the Fool is really depicted as an androgynous type of figure. Is it a guy? Is it an effeminate, masculine being? So again, it's the sum of both parts. We both possess the masculine and the feminine. And the Fool is walking near a cliff, and there's a dog, barking at him. Because the Fool can be a wanderer, full of wanderlust, the traveler as well. And it can be, oh, does he even know that if he's walking near the cliff, he's walking too close to the edge? Because he's also all about adventure. He's not a planner per se. He's about going with the flow, allowing his intuition and the universe to guide him, just like we do in a new moon. And then he's got that little sack. So it's like all of his worldly possessions can be put into one sack that he's able to carry with him. Everything he needs. And in the tarot deck, he meets the magician, and the magician says, let me see your deck, or let me see your sack. And he opens it up, and there's the chalice, which he can fill with love, and there's all these things. And it's like, in the tarot deck, they say, did the magician put those things in there, or was that really the things that the Fool was indeed carrying? But the Fool is able to use these things and make them work to be the most important things that he needs, the most necessity of things that he needs. So it's really quite interesting. And to me personally, I really identify with the Fool. And whenever I find myself stuck in a situation, I can become very resourceful. And I don't know if you remember the show MacGyver, but I always say I can MacGyver my way out of this, or I can MacGyver my way into finding out what it is I need to get me to where I need to go or to fix the solution. There's a joke about how MacGyver would need, like, a safety pin and a piece of bubble gum and a AA battery, and he could make a bomb out of it or whatever he needed. So a lot of times we have to really, if we peel away the chaos, peel away the things that, we really don't need, we can look and see everything I need is right here. And it's not, that much. It's not a, 7,500,000 square foot house. It's not, the 2022, I don't know, Escalade or whatever the car is. We don't need all those things. Everything we need is right inside of us. The fool also walks towards the east with the sun rising behind him as if every day is a new day. So my point is to really just live authentically with your intuition and playfulness. And it's okay to be a fool with this upcoming new moon. Now, we've got Kelly from Cape Coral. Is it Florida?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So nice to connect with you. Are you having lovely weather in Florida?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's been like high 80s. Yeah, and last week it was in the 90s.
Wow. I just had to shovel my driveway the other day.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry.
You know what? It's fine because I can't control the weather, and then it makes the sunny days even more precious to me.
Right, definitely.
Now, Kelly, as I come into your vibration, we're talking about this sunlight and everything. I feel as though, I want to use the term, you are solar powered, that you really do have this ability to be able to look outside, and without even being in the sun, I feel as though you can feel the sun shining on you and almost like refilling your cup. Can you resonate with this energy?
Oh, definitely. I just actually had a sign from the universe on Saturday, and it's so funny, and it was about the sun. So yes, it's definite validation.
Excellent. But I also feel as though water is a very calming element to you. Do you live near the water, or when you vacation, you choose to go near water?
Oh, yes. Well, I live in Florida, so the beach is one of my favorite places to go and relax.
Okay. Yeah, when I was looking into properties in Orlando, I didn't feel as though I lived near water. So I'm like, I don't know where you were, but water is a significant factor. And I almost feel as though it was really determined in you finding your forever home. And I feel as though that's where you are. Can you understand that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Now, Kelly, I want to also ask you the month and day that you're born.
Actually, my birthday was last week, March 23rd.
Ah! Excellent. I have had so many people in the last 2 to 3 weeks that have shared that birthday.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, one more time. Did you say 324?
323.
323, 323. Yeah, that 323, that 324. I've been getting a slew of people. So it's really funny because everybody thinks Pisces. But no, you are Aries. However, you do have this tendency, well, like the water, there's your Pisces element, because you still do have some of that Piscean energy drifting into the beginning cusp of Aries. But you have a lot of leadership qualities, like you are the one to take charge, find the solution, do the heavy lifting is what I'm being told. In job, home, relationship, family. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm sorry, I was doing numerology. Also, but I'm sorry, I'm getting interrupted by, and I feel as though this is a male in who has passed, who had a lot of like indigestion pain in the stomach or pancreas, GERD, reflux, stuff like that. And I feel as though this is a father energy. Can you relate with this? Has your dad passed?
No, my dad hasn't passed, but both grandfathers have, and I don't know if they had that or not.
Okay. Well, let's back up because then I would go to the grandfather energy, and I feel as though this is on your dad's side. Do you know if that grandfather had a cancer of like the pancreas or stomach or anything that lower quadrant? Did he have cancer?
Um, no, well, he died of a heart attack, but my uncle, his son, had pancreatic cancer, or well, has
Because
gone
I
through
think
it.
pancreatic cancer very specifically, so I have to honor that. So that would be
Yes,
your father's brother?
yes.
Okay. But does your dad suffer from heartburn or reflux?
Um, Not that I know of. I'm not sure. I don't live with my dad. He lives in a different state, so
Uh-huh. Okay.
I don't know what he like suffers from.
Okay. Um, yeah, because I do pick up on this energy that your father is not one to just be a complainer.
Oh
He
yeah,
like
definitely.
holds his
Yes,
cards close to his chest in that department and wants to always, keep everything on an upbeat, on a positive, on a
mhm.
fun vibe. Hey, what's going on with you? Kind of energy.
Yes,
Great.
yes, exactly.
Um, and I know your dad's here, but it's more of a heart connection that I'm doing. That your dad
Mhm.
really, you guys have this kinship of just being able to have a lighthearted bit of fun and knowing each other without having to say many words. Do you understand this?
Yes. Mhm.
So there's lots of love and happiness and energy that comes in the relationship with you and your father. Now, I feel as though your uncle chimes in because he as well has that energy. He just wants to let everyone know that he's okay. This is his main
Okay.
message, that he doesn't feel shortened by his
Mhm.
life. Do you understand? Like he doesn't feel as though it was cut short because of the
Yes.
quality of everything that he had. Like family was the backbone of this is everything I do is for family. I love being a part of
Mhm.
family. And
Yes.
that's just like part of like your grandfather, your father, that's their like legacy is family,
Mhm.
being the providers, but also doing it in a fun manner. By
Yes.
having a
Mhm.
relationship with, you know, their children instead of just always being the authoritative. They were very much a
Yeah.
part of the family, activities growing up, the day to day, everything. So he
Mhm.
just wants to chime in and say, like, thank you for it's a I don't know, he's being kind of playful and saying thank you for upholding all of the things that our family, like lineage, crest,
Mhm.
reveres. Do you understand? Like holds close
Yeah.
the qualities, the main
Mhm.
core.
Yeah.
Even though you're not, even though you don't show the family name, you
Mhm.
very much are the family name. Do you understand that?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Do you hyphenate or do you do a parentheses on a lot of things with your maiden name?
No, well, no, it's just like all of my cousins and everything were all girls. So everyone's kind of been married and changed their name. And my son's the only one that has my family last name. And he's actually thinking about changing it to his father. So that's just funny that kind of came up.
Yes, because I was getting to like the name part that is very important. And it's like they're saying, even though you don't carry it, they're proud that you did that. But also, I feel as though your son's at an age, to like, it's taken him a lot to think about this and
Hmm.
to make this decision, and that they're okay with it because you're the one that
Okay.
holds the qualities, but he's at the point where he's got to make his own journey. Do you understand this?
I know. Yes, I
It's,
do. He's a
he's not
teenager
turning
and
his back, he's fulfilling his own personal destiny.
okay.
And it's funny that you just so happened to call in and got me, and I'm talking about the Fool in the tarot deck card. And the Fool is the one who, see, people may think they don't know where the Fool's going. Oh, he's on this path. Now he's on this path. Oh, he doesn't know what he's thinking because he's not a planner. He's just going by his own gut instinct, his intuition. But we have to trust the process of them doing that for themselves, and that is a lot of growth or maturity to take a stand and say, you know what, I know what I'm about to say is, going to be unpleasant, but I have the bravery and the courage that I need to say this because that's how strongly I feel about it. Do you understand it now that way?
Yeah.
Or perhaps maybe he could change his middle name to your maiden name. Just throwing it out.
Yeah.
People do that.
Yeah, they do.
Play with it is what I'm hearing and have fun with it. But trust that you've given him all the tools and that he can and will do on his own, and it's time to let him do on his own and make his own path.
Okay.
Thank you, Kelly. I'd love to connect further with you on this and get an update of how things play out. So please, remember me, Kelly Wahl. That's K-Wahl, W-A-H-L, Healing Arts. And I'm here every Wednesday also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, it's often hard to have people leave the nest, and you never know. It's like divine timing. It's not marked on a calendar. Oh, what time does divine timing start at? What's the date of divine timing? Well, maybe it's April 1st. That's what the Fool would answer you with. And it's about trusting that you have given, whether it's a child or a relationship or a job or whatever, you've given that the tools. And it's up to them to MacGyver. Remember, I was talking about that earlier? To MacGyver their own way into their own journey. Now, I often remember when I was young, I would come up with these stories. I was like the best storyteller. Go figure. And I was really encouraged, though, to do that. And a lot of times I would say that I was playing with spirit or my imaginary friends. And I was talking to the wind, which to me was spirit. And my sister, she's a little older than I am, and she would encourage me to tell these stories and to just be playful. We were always playing. And we would play this imaginary game where we were on this swing set, and then we'd be like, oh, we got caught speeding, and now the cops are coming up to us, and we've got to get out of this ticket. And her and my cousins were like, well, my nickname was Coop or Cooper. And then they'd say, Coop the genius will get us out of there. Coop the genius will make up a story, and they'll let us go. So I had to come up with this story. And the thing is that, genius or fool. That's the thing. I was entertaining them and I was being creative. And, even I would make them laugh. And even if they were laughing at me, we were all laughing. We were all playing. That's the energy of being the fool. And how I didn't care because I was there just having fun and being myself. And what a freeing moment that is. When you have those moments of freedom to just fully be yourself, it's like when people sing karaoke or something and they get on stage and they're like, I'm just totally going to belt this out. And I'm going to be a different persona than what I normally am, because normally I have to think about what everyone thinks of me, even though, trust me, a lot of people put a lot of thought into their karaoke skills. But when you get up there and you just belt it out and you are your most authentic self and you're playing with it, you're having fun, those are the moments where you're allowing your fool to come out. And it can lead you to the most wonderful adventures. Another thing, like just all these things that would happen in my life, and people would look at me and my family would say, oh, of course that happened for her. Oh, of course it played out that way. And I remember going to an auction where my aunt and uncle left everything, and I really loved these people. They taught me so much about spirituality. And when they passed, they left everything to a organization. So then they had to auction everything out. And I didn't know how an auction worked. And I'm like, how do you bid on something? And it went so fast. And afterwards, I was still hanging around, and this nice little old man comes up to me and goes, I understand you are a relation of these people. And I explained, yes. And they were, Mensa members and, just really wonderful, intelligent people. And so then the gentleman says to me, well, I didn't really, bid on anything of value, just like some clothes and closets and pictures. But why don't you leave me your information? And if I see anything of might be of family importance to you, I'll call you. So, okay, months later, he did call me, and he said, I have a portrait, I believe it is of your aunt. So, all right, and I picked up all the things. He goes, I got some other things, I'm throwing them out if you want them. So I took everything. I said, oh, I love this painting of the Madonna and Child. So I was all excited. And then there was another piece. And it sat there for months. And then finally I looked it up. And it's a rare painting by Andrew Wyeth. And it was part of a mistake that they were only supposed to print 100, but they printed 1,000. So the artist sued the company. So it had a certificate of authenticity. And it turns out that painting is worth about today $5,000. And of course, who got it? The fool. Because I didn't want anything. I went there just hoping to get something of family value. So I got more than that because I didn't ask for anything. And I allowed the universe to take me there. So this weekend, I want you to plant your seeds of intention on your new moon. Play with the new moon in Aries, and don't be afraid to be a fool. And next week, tune in with me, Kay Wahl, and we'll play some more. Good night, everyone.